Hey, Garage Logic fans, I do a podcast on the Garage Logic Network that comes out every Wednesday and Friday now, twice a week. But here's an important caveat. There is zero logic available in my show, in the formal definition of logic. Of course, life is a yin and yang kind of thing. There's the logic side, and then there's the what the hell side, which needs to get its exercise. So come for the what the hell and stay for the you've got to be kidding me. Mishki, now Wednesdays and Fridays, twice a week.
Oh, Michael, you floor me. You. All right, here we go.
This is the Weekly Scramble, a place where we chat about life over a cold one or two. It's time to belly up to the pod with Mike Fratelloni and your host, Chris Rivers.
That's right. It's time for the Weekly Scramble podcast. My name is Chris Rivers. With me, as always, his name is Mike Fratelloni. Hello, Michael.
How you doing, Rivers?
You know, it was pointed out to me. I'm doing great.
Okay, good.
It was pointed out to me. Christmas is freaking 2 weeks from today.
Oh, I know. I'm a little worried.
And I said, "Oh yeah, I better get going here." I'm the world's greatest procrastinator.
Really?
I am 100%. In fact, anytime corporate comes to me and says, "You and Sushrey need to sign those documents," we got it. I'm like, "Oh, F, they were due yesterday. We got to get this done now."
It's like when they're asking you for your 2025 contract renewal signature.
Correct.
And it's almost 2026.
That's right. Speaking of dates, this kind of caught me off guard earlier today, and it stemmed from the opening segment of Garage Logic. You know how Joe will open up the show and say, on this day it was 126 degrees in 1931, and it was as cold as 14 below in 1922.
More proof of global warming,
Correct.
I think is what they said.
Here's what got me, though, because he said, on this date in 2010, I'm gonna challenge you here.
2010.
On this day in 2010, we got 17 inches of snow.
Okay.
In 2010. Nothing ringing a bell yet?
2010 on this date. No, keep going.
Okay. So I started to think for a brief second or two, I went, oh my God, it's been 15 years. That's right. So in my mind, he's still talking.
Okay.
And I thought, I cannot believe this. Do you remember what happened? Well, technically it happened tomorrow 15 years ago.
It wasn't the ripping of the Metrodome.
Boom.
Oh, I got
the
something.
Metrodome roof
I got
collapsed.
something sports related.
I can't believe it was that long ago.
I can't believe I guessed that, Rivers.
Well, you're brilliant.
No, I'm not. I would never, ever in my life be able to tell you when that was.
So I want to bring this up for a couple of reasons, because we all love nostalgia. We all love, and again, here's the thing about the Metrodome. I think I've explained to you what my rules are about the Metrodome, right?
Remind me.
Okay. So the Metrodome was, my dad claims that he took me to Met Stadium when I was very young. I do not remember it.
Sure. What year did Met Stadium close?
Well, the Twins first played at the Dome in 1982.
Okay.
And then the Vikings then followed suit later that year.
So 79 or 80 or
so
something.
No, but 81 was the
okay.
last year of Met Stadium, and I would have been, 3 at the time or whatever I was. And my dad claims he took me to Met Stadium, but I have zero recollection of it at all. And
sure. Well, you've brought your kids inappropriately aged to sporting events.
Of course I have.
Like Brett, your wife just sitting there breastfeeding in, left center.
Get in there. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is, here was always my rule about the Metrodome. It was the very first place that I remember going to my first game. I'll never forget. It was Rod Carew Day. I still have the poster framed in my basement.
Okay.
Quit looking at me like
cool.
that. I know you think I'm a nerd, and that's fine.
Sure.
So I still have my Rod Carew Day poster that was crumpled up, but I tried to flatten. I had it professionally flattened, matted, and framed, because that was my very first game that I went to with my dad. Okay. And so I didn't know it was a dump. I said, oh my God, we're going to the Metrodome.
Yeah. To the huge Metrodome.
I'm 8 or whatever I was at the time, right? Like, this is the greatest thing ever. And over time, like, man, this place is a dump. But it's our dump.
Yeah, it was our dump.
And so here's the thing. If you weren't from here, you weren't allowed to criticize the Metrodome. I had friends that have done media and whatever all over the place, And I remember getting into not a squabble. I have a very good friend and I don't want to mention this because you'll know who I'm talking about. I have a very good friend that works in media in a different large market. And I went to a game in that town and they started ripping the Metrodome. I said, slow your roll. Did you ever go to a game at the Metrodome? Well, no, but it's an S-hole. I said, you ain't allowed to rip. We are allowed to rip the Metrodome. You, sir, are not allowed to rip the Metrodome.
Remind me a little bit, because I never really thought of it. Right, I never thought of the Metrodome being good or bad. I went to games or never really thought about it.
No one ever wanted to go to a baseball game in July and sit inside on a beautiful 80-degree night and look at Teflon.
Okay, did we hate it right from the get-go?
Well, one guy did that normally sits in that chair.
So Souchere disliked it right from the get-go.
Cost him a job at the Star Tribune.
It did, because that was the land they were selling to the Metrodome.
And by the way, if you've never read Once There Was a Ballpark, I urge you by all means.
By Joe Souchere?
And I got to tell you, I'm not going to give him credit because I'll give him credit now because he's not sitting next to me. He's so good.
He is so good.
Have you ever read that book?
No. Is it worth it?
You absolutely. In fact, I have 2 copies. I will just give you one of my copies. It's that good.
I'd rather have you do something else.
Okay.
I'd rather have you sit him down, Joe Souchere, in this chair, and have him read it into an audio book for us. And then sell those audiobooks. That's not a bad idea.
My God, you are. Right? This is why I keep you around.
And then the best part about it is he could go at the end like, "Shut up, you buffoon! Hit record."
Mike,
that's not a bad idea.
No, that's brilliant.
That'd be cool because I think people would like that. Okay, wait.
Go ahead.
I got a great idea.
Here we go.
Joe goes out of town for a winter break. You go out of town for a winter break. Instead of me listening to some best of that Rookie put together in 14 seconds, you play chapter 1 or chapter 2 or chapter 3 of books that he wrote that he's reading the chapter 2.
Mike,
that's not a. Hold on. That's me patting my own back. That is not a bad idea.
Are you now going to claim to the sales staff and to programming management that this will all be sponsored by Fratelloni's Harbor at no cost whatsoever?
Honest to God, I think that's not a bad idea.
That is a wonderful idea.
Right? It would get his book back out into the public domain, right? We'd all be paying attention to it. And then we could say, oh, they're going to be gone for 5 days. I'm going to listen to his 5 chapters of this book. And we can do that on a podcast. You could say, chapter 1 of There Once Was a State.
Even better.
Well, okay, explain this.
After he buys the farm, then we can roll.
Well, let's not demise him.
I'm kidding, but I love that idea.
That's not a bad idea.
No, I love that idea.
But you know what I just did? Is I just gave you another, 30 hours worth of work? Because who else is going to record him?
No, it's going to be me.
Yeah, he's not going to learn.
But I will get the first-hand, is it iteration?
Sure.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
I will get the first-hand iteration of this and go, with my mouth drooling as I'm listening to this.
He could actually add post notes. He could say, hey, side note.
Damn, that's a really good idea.
Should I pitch that to him?
No.
If you do, he's going to say, no thanks.
Oh, wait, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, we had some.
Gabe
No, I got this. We'll say, we had some high-level corporate sponsors.
Oh, that's right.
that came with this great idea. Okay, we're getting way off topic.
Bilski could do it.
Mike Bilski came up with this idea.
Says he wants you to read this book.
Okay, so I remember this, and this is why I wanted to bring up the Metrodome roof collapsing. Mm-hmm. So it started because today would have been, 15 years ago, would have been a Saturday.
Okay.
And I remember Friday night, I was working here, and I remember we had some type of an event because I was still working at both legendary AM 1500, 1500 ESPN. I was also working at My Talk 107.1. I was with GL, and I was doing a show on My Talk. And I remember after GL, this was the Friday, so this would have been December 9th, we had an event somewhere, and I can't remember. It was in Bloomington.
Maybe wasn't your Christmas party?
No. It was like maybe Joe Sensors.
Okay.
It was something like in that area, the 494 where all those cool bars and restaurants used to be. But we had an event in that area, and this is, again, pre-kids, so the bride and I actually had a social life, and so I remember we went to this event, and couple drinks, have something to eat, and people started to say, "Oh, it's really starting to come down."
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
Because it started to snow. This is probably 10 o'clock Friday night, and it had started to snow basically into that overnight, and then all day on Saturday. And I remember thinking to myself, for the first time ever, because when you're younger, you're thinking, oh, it doesn't matter. We'll go out all night. It doesn't matter. Snowstorm. But I remember that was the first time I said we should get home before the snow really starts to pack in.
You were maturing.
And I was living in, we were living in Chanhassen at the time. And I remember going, okay, let's get the vehicles in. Let's just get, we're hunkered down. Now we're good, right? It was a Saturday.
Safe, yeah.
There was nowhere to go. We're snowed in, right? But I remember for the first time thinking, I just turned into my dad.
Yeah.
Like, I was worried about getting home before the snow hit. And then it snowed and snowed. And at the time, when we were living in Chanhassen, we lived in an association. So I didn't have to plow.
You didn't have to do anything.
I didn't have to do S.
Sure.
All I had to do was get home, watch college football, maybe play video games, and
make some love.
You know, whatever. And it just didn't stop snowing. It snowed all day, all night. And I'm thinking, I remember, because I have Viking season tickets. And I remember thinking, well, I'm going to have to drive in this crap tomorrow morning to get to the Vikings game, because they were playing the Giants, I believe, at home. And it kept snowing, it kept snowing, it kept snowing. And so we ended up going to bed, 10 o'clock that night. And I remember getting up early because I thought, all right, I'll get a workout and I'll do whatever. And I flipped the news on. I was going to make myself something to eat or whatever. And the news came on and you saw the video.
Yeah.
Remember how, because Fox had a stationary camera in the upper end zone of the Metrodome, and you watched the entire roof just kind of come down, and you could hear the beam starting to make noise, and you're thinking, "Oh, this ain't good."
That ain't good. Yeah.
And then it basically just threw up all over the turf.
And we knew the Metrodome was going to be ripped down at that point, right?
No. That's where I was going next.
Keep going and remind me a little bit.
So that the Teflon ripped, and snow spilled everywhere. And one of the reasons that was cited for why is crew members couldn't clear the snow off the roof because it was so windy. I mean, you can't send a guy up there to remove snow from the roof.
It's coming down that fast.
It's coming down that fast. It was way too treacherous. Like, you can't let somebody die on the roof of the Metrodome to clear snow.
Hey,
and so
missing a Sunday football game, I bet you could.
Well, but so anyway, but that is one of the reasons why it spurred legislation to start that conversation about getting a new stadium.
Because we said, we're not investing in this. Let's just wash our hands of it and be done.
I'll never forget that next week. I don't remember if it was that Monday or whatever. Royce had one of the best lines ever. Wait till we find the undocumented photos of Ziggy up there with a scissors cutting a hole through the thing because he wants a new stadium.
So, I mean, it did mark the demise of the stadium just then. They never did anything with it after that point. Did they fix it?
They repaired it because they played there. So that was 2010.
Am I just totally not remembering?
They played there in 2011, 2012, and then that's when they moved to TCF, which is now Huntington Bank. They played there for 2 years as they demolished and then rebuilt US Bank Stadium.
Remind me where they played the Sunday game.
So then they moved that game to Detroit.
Oh, okay.
And they ended up playing that game on I think it was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night game or whatever. But I'll never forget this because Favre was still on the team, and Favre was wanting to keep his streak of consecutive games being played intact. And he ended up, so they came back like, well, where are we going to play our game? Because I think they still had at least one home game, maybe two, and so they played the Bears at the Bank Stadium down here, which was TCF. Now it's Huntington Bank Stadium. And that's where Favre got knocked out. And that was the last game he ever played in the NFL.
Okay.
Because the ground was frozen. Sure. Because the Gophers only play until mid to late November.
Yeah,
they don't play that late in the year. So that's one of the reasons why when the Vikings ended up playing out there, the Wilf family installed heated coils underneath that surface playing area. But
could you imagine making whatever Favre was making and all the other players then having to go out into a frozen, like cement field and think, why?
Mike,
why would I want to do this?
I remember that day because it snowed to the bejesus that day that they were playing the Bears out there. And it might have been a Monday night. And our program director at the time, Brad Lane, said, well, we want to have somebody down in that area. And I was doing the live portion of GL when we were a sports station it was called the Leaning Tower. Remember that bar that was on the corner there? And I forget what it's called now. but I was doing a live report in there, and there was a slight delay. And Joe handles those things very well.
His patience of the slight delay.
And so I said, I just said, well, rookie, hang up on me then. If he's just going to sit here and rip this, why am I sitting here?
Yeah, I can't do anything about it.
I do remember driving. How far is that away?
Miles.
If that, right?
Yeah.
It took me 30 minutes to get down there.
Oh, really?
That's how bad the roads were. Anyway, so.
Well, that's fun. I mean, that's quite the memory. You have a memory of useless crap that is just unbelievable.
Come on in, ladies and gentlemen.
I really find that fascinating. You did not tell me that you were going to talk about the Metrodome.
No.
I thought you were going to go with Phillip Rivers talk, right?
We might need to go there.
We got to go there.
Okay.
But I am so damn impressed with myself that I said, the Metrodome? Like, if you would have told me that Metrodome ripped in 1989, I would have said,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably that's about right. I would have had no idea. But I do think I'm looking at a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers coming back to play football.
Oh, my God.
Is that...
Can we hang on to that for a second, okay? Because
let's talk some stuff.
Let's talk some We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. I am so grateful for their relationship here because now you've heard about me talking about We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com for a while now. You get them, as you already know, at all of your Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores locations. You get them at Max Hardware locations. You get them at Lunds and Byerly's. You get them at Kowalski's. You already know you can get them at Cub Foods. You can get them at Quick Trip. Now available. And I just walked by this stand yesterday after work yesterday at Coburn's Market. I had to do some investigative work.
You did.
So I walked into my Coburn's at Belle Plaine. Here's why I love Coburn's. I can pull up to the gas pump, fill up, get my gas, walk inside.
You just leave
get
your
my
car
groceries.
Sitting there, right? In the gas line
I left it running.
Okay, good.
As it's filling up. Hell yeah, I did.
Someone will stop it.
And so I can get my gas. I can walk in for 5 minutes, get all the groceries that I need, and I can walk back out. And if I need to go in the liquor store and talk to Bo, I can get my goods there too.
Nice.
Get my Harmony Spirits.
Nice.
But that's the beauty of Coburn's.
Yeah.
So now available at all of your Coburn's markets. So I grabbed a bag of Hokey Pokey cheddar and caramel corn because my 14-year-old is addicted. So I brought 2 bags of that home the other day.
Oh, that's sweet.
I said, William, what
do you think they're going to do?
I ate them. Why? And of course, he had his buddy Graham over. I said, all right, I got to go get some
Graham's
more.
a full pound now after he ate that.
He
See
sure
what I did
is.
there? Graham is a full pound now.
Yeah, there you go.
That was
Here's
good.
what I love about 14-year-olds. You know what they can do? Eat like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's impressive.
I was in a store the other day, and I'm not going to say it because it wasn't one of mine, and they had We Are Nuts on the shelf.
Okay.
And they were sold down, and I found myself, I was fronting the We Are Nuts. Then I thought, wait.
What am I doing?
I don't work at this store. I got to call Jim and say, hey, by the way, someone needs to front the We Are Nuts at that store that I randomly shopped in. And my wife was looking at me like, what are you doing? I said, I'm just helping them out, just fronting the nuts.
I'm a retail guy.
Yeah,
What else am I supposed to do? Yeah, that's exactly right. So anyway, if you're not able to make it into any one of those locations, just do us a favor. Go online and place your order at wearenutsmn.com. And that is how you're going to continue to help this wonderful family-owned organization, the Weekly Scramble. We will be right back. All right. So I know where you want to go.
Sure.
And I didn't think we'd be this football heavy, but this is kind of fun.
Great stories.
Here's what I love about this particular story. Do you remember, what would this have been, 3 years ago maybe? And how I was desperately trying to hang on to Tom Brady continuing to play in the NFL. And why was that? Do you remember why?
Because he is your age. He's younger than you.
He's the only player that was still a little bit older than me.
you. So you still could live to your glory time.
Right.
Yeah.
Glory days.
Glory days.
Me and
you
Tom
can say,
Brady.
Tom Brady's my age. He still plays professional ball.
And so when I saw the fact that 44-year-old Phillip Rivers was going to come out of retirement after 5 years and sign with the Colts, I thought, how am I supposed to react to this? And I thought, you know what? Why not?
Why not?
Go get it.
So wait, when you say was going to sign, did he not sign?
No, I'm sorry. When I saw that he was going to sign.
Because I was like, wait, I thought it was official.
He did. He signed
Think
with their
of that,
practice
Reavers.
squad.
I think every athlete in the world is thinking to themselves, if you're going to sign Phillip Rivers at 44, will you sign DJ Metcalf at 38 or whatever? I'm making that name up. I don't know. Like, is there a guy sitting there saying, I'm still in shape. I would literally murder to play more football. Because some of these guys, that's all they had, right? Now most of them still have fortunes because they were making so much money. It's almost impossible to piss away all of it.
Right.
But who do you think the next guy is that would say, I will go play right now.
The problem is, though, Mike, is I as much as I'm rooting for this story, because I am.
Sure.
Right? I'll full disclosure, I have a bet with one of Will's buddies, JT, that the Chiefs that they weren't going to make the playoffs. And I bet him this last summer during the baseball season. He's a huge Chiefs fan. And so I'm rooting for them not to make the playoffs, so I'm cheering for the Colts like crazy.
Okay.
Heck yes, I am. But at the same time, this is going to be a disaster.
I mean, maybe. Right?
You can't, the NFL, you can't bring in a guy that's been sitting on his couch. And again, I know
What's he been doing?
He's been coaching his son's high school football team. So their season's done, which is cool.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him an athlete at this point anymore.
I guess that's my point. And the thing is, when he played, he was a pretty immobile, statuesque style quarterback.
Knew to get rid of the ball quickly, right?
Which he will do.
So is he going to play?
He might even throw it before it snapped.
Yeah, is he going to play?
Well, I believe he is on the practice squad right now, and they go to Seattle and play the Seahawks, and that's a pretty good team with a really good defense.
So why did they bring him back, or why did they ask him to come back? Is it
they needed a fresh body? They've got 3 guys that are hurt.
So he's one quarterback away from playing?
Yes.
Well, that's risky.
Yeah, no kidding.
What was his contract?
I have no idea. I'm sure it's just a prorated 1 year, whatever it.
Yeah, I mean they're not giving him a 4-year deal, but is he getting $4 million?
Whatever the veteran minimum would be. That would be my guess anyway.
Why would he do it for the minimum?
Because
he made a ton of money
for the love of the game. And the thing is, I don't know if you know much about him.
I don't. This is why I'm asking you.
He married, if I'm not mistaken,
Joan Rivers.
No.
Okay, shit. I thought I was pretty close.
That's his
Melissa.
mom.
Melissa
That's his mom.
Rivers. Okay.
So he married his college sweetheart.
Okay.
And he went to, was it South Carolina State? It was, I can't remember. I think it might have been South Carolina State or one of those schools. It doesn't matter. And he was a high pick by the Chargers. And they have like 15 kids.
Oh, they do?
Oh, they have a what would you call it, a brood? They have a ton of kids. And so what I had jokingly said to a buddy of mine, because we were in a sports like group chat, I said, well, clearly he ran out of patience and just wanted an excuse to get out of the house. You got a room full of 15 kids or whatever it is. It's a big number. And so, in fact, I should look up what the actual number is to be respectful to the situation. But I thought, oh, homeboy, you really needed a reason to get out of the house.
So, other notable NFL players who unretired: Brady, Gronkowski, Favre, Marshawn Lynch. Right? These are all players that did it, but they didn't wait 4 years, and they weren't 44 years old.
Okay.
Right? I mean, he is by far coming back as a grandfather. And he's a grandfather. Is that right?
His oldest child, yes, does have a kid.
He's going to be the oldest active player in the league right now when he comes back and plays.
Phillip Rivers and his wife, Tiffany, have been married since 2001, and they have 10 kids.
Wow.
Their oldest child, daughter Haley, was born in 2002, and their youngest son, Andrew, was born in 2023.
Wait, what?
Phillip and Tiffany.
I guess he was only 42 then. That's not that old, right?
Phillip and Tiffany became grandparents for the very first time after Haley welcomed a son in late 2024. And I got to be honest, he is a very faith-driven human being.
Yeah.
And I think that might be a big part of this. I want my grandson to be there when I play in the NFL, which I gotta be honest, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I respect that. I respect guys that have 10 kids. I really do. Right? I mean, I think that's cool. We need more of that in this world. I've talked to you a lot about those sex robots. As soon as the sex robots hit,
See,
we need kids.
You've been begging for more people like Phillip Rivers.
Here, I got some. He's going to be on the veterans on the practice squad in 2025. Earn between $17,500 and $22,000 per week.
Okay, I was so wrong about this. By the way, check this out.
Okay,
long before Phillip became an NFL household name, he and Tiffany were middle school sweethearts.
Oh, that's cool.
Who wed in 2001, and I believe that's long before he was drafted. So they got married while they were in college.
That means she likes him,
Must
right?
be, yeah.
She's not a puck chaser or a jersey chaser.
Parenthood followed soon after with the arrival of their first child, daughter Haley, in 2002. They've since added 9 more children to their family, most recently welcoming their youngest, Andrew. That means Andrew and Andrew's nephew are about a year apart in age.
That's pretty cool.
Even at the height of his football career, faith and family remained the couple's top priorities. Phillip was raised Catholic, and Tiffany converted before they were married. In May of 2019, Phillip shared his best parenting advice in a profile with the Chargers. Be present. Just try to be there. Children want our time. The quarterback retired in 2021 following 16 seasons with the Chargers, formerly San Diego, then the Los Angeles, and then 1 season with the Indianapolis Colts. But then in December of 2025, he worked out with the Colts and then eventually signed with them.
His 2020 contract was a fully guaranteed $25 million contract.
Wow.
His 1-year contract, his last contract.
Yep.
He's not doing this. They have to be paying him because they can't just say, hey, you're going to make $20,000 a week. He's not. Why would you risk any kind of pain? What if he breaks his leg?
Here's the thing. I think we just hit upon it. I guarantee you he's doing this because he's saying to himself, well, I got somebody gave me a call. I just had a grandson. We'd have to look it up. How many grandfathers have ever played in the NFL?
Probably.
He's probably it.
No. I guarantee you that's not because there's a lot of guys that have 14 children out there.
Oh, yeah.
And those 14 children got pregnant at some young age, too.
But I guarantee he's on a very short list.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that there's a lot of guys in the NFL that have had a number of kids. I mean, we all remember the famous scene in, is it Antonio Cromartie, where he had trouble remembering the names of his 11 different kids. But I guarantee he's on the short list of grandparents.
Let me get there.
Well, I'm just going to say grandfathers because there's no grandmothers that have ever played in the NFL.
Yeah, you'd think that would be not.
But I bet that's why. I guarantee that's why.
After a lot of reports and headlines about Phillip Rivers returning to the Colts, sorry, I shouldn't have read that.
That's all right.
See.
You want a minute?
He still isn't. However, Rivers isn't the first grandfather to play in the NFL. That's right. He would be the second. Who do you think he's behind?
Give me the year.
2010.
2010. It's not Favre.
It's Brett Favre.
Is it really?
Yep. The only other known player to ever play as a grandpa was Brett Favre in 2010.
Then I stand corrected. I did not realize that.
Isn't that funny?
That his daughter also. That makes sense because his daughter was older at the time. Okay, that makes sense.
How much older? I mean, Brett played till what? 40?
It was 42.
Was he that old?
Yes,
so you
42.
have a kid at 22, and and they have a kid at 20.
Yeah,
it works.
And I think he would be the only grandfather that got busted in the NFL sending Snapchats to a sideline reporter.
He got a bum rap, right? When you hear the humanity, remember when he was getting the massage?
By the way, that's way before Snapchat. So had Snapchat been around, he would probably been fine
because it would have vanished.
Right.
He was getting a massage from his masseuse, and he said, "I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely."
Michael, where are you going with this?
It's humanity, Reavers. He's on the road. His family's someplace else.
Human nature.
No one's touching him. No one. He doesn't want to cheat. He just wants a really comfortable massage.
Sure.
Right?
So did Deshaun Watson.
That is a bum rap. What about that coach? Do you want to go one more football story?
Oh, God, sure.
Let's do one more ad and then go to one more football story.
Okay, I didn't know we were going to be this football heavy.
They're all great.
Human nature stories is what we service the crowd
old
here.
Old man and sex stories is what it is.
I can't wait to tell you the line I heard from an older gentleman that normally fills these airwaves. That's not Joe Souchere. Let's talk about our friends online here. You can find them online at harmonyspirits.net. And you know what? I mentioned them earlier. Go into your local liquor store. Ask for the Harmony brand by name. And demand the Harmony brand by name. That is truly, the consumer doesn't realize the buying power that they have. In fact, I talked to a gentleman, not at Coburn's. This was a different location. This was about a week ago. And I said, hey, where the hell's the Harmony? Let's go here. And that's the thing. You don't realize how much buying power that you have as a consumer. And it's wonderful, local, handmade craft spirits made right here in the great city of Harmony, Minnesota. And they are a wonderful operation down there. And if you're in the area, stop in at the tasting room. It's a great spot and a great hang. And they have that rotating menu of craft cocktails at the tasting room. It's Larry, it's Damon. Those guys are fantastic. The gin, the rum, the vodka, the bourbon barrel strength. Oh, all the specialty drinks are fantastic. And I got to make it down there. I got a text from Larry last week and said, we don't really distribute the caramel apple rum, but I can send you some. I said, I'll come down and get some.
I'll come get it.
Yeah, I'll come get it. You don't need to make. Yeah, I don't need any special treatment.
Sure.
3415 University Avenue.
Yeah,
No.
I don't need a special treatment, but you can overnight that.
But I am going to make it down there because it's been a minute. I haven't been down there since the 4th of July when I stopped in over the 4th of July break and I saw all those great people at Harmony, Minnesota.
Is that when you were on your driving thing through 10 different states on a weekend?
Yeah, I did 6 states in 2 days or something like that.
I love that story.
Yeah, but
You're
I
on
got
a vision quest.
I got to try the caramel apple rum because that does sound fantastic. But anyway, check their Facebook page out, by the way, for upcoming events. It's going to be a festive time of the year to step into that tasting room down there in Harmony, Minnesota. And please do us a favor and mention that you heard of it on here on the Weekly Scramble podcast. I didn't realize we were going to be football heavy on today's show.
It's just people that work and play in football, right? We can talk about Sharon Moores, the Michigan head coach.
Here's what I cannot believe about this story. And I don't know if
Tell people what the story is, just in case.
So it took a bit of a dark turn yesterday, but Sharon Moore was dismissed as the University of Michigan head football coach. And we're talking about one of the most prestigious jobs, not only in college football, in sports.
Head coach of a huge.
This is a stadium that seats 110,000 people.
Like you are $5.5 million a year.
You are the face of Michigan, right? And so he had taken over for Jim Harbaugh after Jim led his alma mater to a national championship. And
Cheated.
Cheated.
Cheated to a national championship.
Sure.
That's why number 9 can't throw pass now because they were cheating so bad. Sorry, go ahead.
He takes over. And, they've been not great, but they've been okay. They got dismantled by Ohio State in their last game. And then it surfaces that he has been removed. He has been fired with cause for an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Can't be doing that. You're supposed to be the face of an organization. He's married. I believe he has three kids, 3 daughters.
Yep. Or 3 kids. I don't know.
It's daughters, okay. I believe. And so he was dismissed. And then it even gets worse, where he was arrested after this fact for some type of domestic situation.
Well, I think I'm reading up on it right now, and I looked a little bit before the show.
Sure.
He had been stalking this person for months, so they say. And it was allegedly he assaulted her. So when they said, and if this is true, I think she should sue the university to the ground. Because if they said he had an inappropriate relationship with a staffer, that staffer's name made it everywhere. Sure. Everybody knows who she is.
Yep.
But if in reality he was stalking her and he allegedly assaulted her, that's why he's been in jail overnight, right?
Yep.
If that's the case, and the university put out a statement saying he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, that's not the same thing. One sounds like it's a mutual inappropriate relationship. The other sounds like it's akin to something like a rape, right? Or attempted rape and stalking. Those are 2 highly different things. You don't say who the staff member is if she was stalked.
Right.
So I think she's going to go ahead, if that's the case.
And it's a very delicate situation, so we have to be using the word allegedly.
Allegedly, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I mean, it's just the reporting that it's an alleged assault. Allegedly, he was stalking her for months. I don't know anything, right? I don't know. They could have been best friends. They could have been lovers for years. I have no idea. But if it's the case that he was stalking her, we're talking about a totally different thing.
Right.
It's what a great way to lose your $5.5 million job, to lose the respect of millions of people, and you throw it away. You 100% throw it away because you can't allegedly control yourself.
I received a text message from a gentleman who I had briefly mentioned earlier in the program, who covers sports in this town and has done so for a long time. And he had sent, I believe, an article from a Michigan newspaper with the 2 photos of the people that you had just mentioned. And the subcaption read, "Unbleepin' defeated."
Oh, yeah.
Undefeated.
Undefeated. If that's the case.
If that's the case, allegedly.
If he was stalking her, that's a totally different thing.
Sure is.
Yeah, I mean...
and this has happened, sadly. This has happened with other coaches, and it's the whole thing about... And that's what really stinks about this, is the whole with cause, without cause, because that breaks down from a financial component.
Yeah, this is with cause. They fired him for cause.
Which means he's not getting a dime.
He's not getting a dime.
If found to be guilty of what he's being accused of.
Exactly. Well, actually, they don't even have to find him guilty. They can just dump him for cause, right? It doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to do something illegal to dump for cause.
Right.
It is a really, really weird story. I hate to see people plummet. Right? To plummet from grace, right? They really did. He had something special going on at a special university. He was handpicked by Harbaugh that said, this is your guy. He's the best, right?
And what I've never understood is, and I was having this conversation with a friend of mine just about and again, I'm a sports fan. I love sport. I don't love sports as much as I used to. It's just, you're preoccupied now. It's kids, and even though my kids all play sports, which is why I'm preoccupied, but there's so many underlying seedy levels of and I mean seedy, like gross levels of whether it's from a monetary standpoint and anything else that goes along with it, where you're thinking gross. And what I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, I don't understand how something that's supposed to be just purely entertainment can devolve into something where you've got big bucks controlling everything. And that's the part that kind of makes me go, last night, I'm trying to watch a basketball game with my oldest son, who's just obsessed with basketball right now. And so we're watching, going, and that guy he's giving no effort.
Sure,
he's making $30 million a year, and he's giving zero effort. And then you got LeBron James, or I call him a different B word, LeBron James flopping in the middle of the court. Like, this is why I don't like you.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with whether I think you're better than Michael Jordan. You're a flopping
kind of a crybaby.
Right, and that's the part of sports that I can't stand.
It is a long season for athletes. It's a long season for basketball players.
Boo effing who? You know who doesn't care? The guy that's on 494 right now, laying concrete in the middle of winter.
But to keep your effort level up every single game for 15 years would be tough. Look at hockey players, for example. The difference between a regular season game and a playoff game, it's like you're watching two different sports.
I'm so glad you brought up hockey. Here's exactly why. Hockey, different animal. Here's why I cannot stand a guy like LeBron James. Did you see, and I know you probably didn't, the Kings, I forget who the Los Angeles Kings were playing last night. A defenseman for the Los Angeles Kings blocked a shot with no stick in his hand. It hit him. It shattered his skate, and it ricocheted and hit him somewhere.
Wow!
He crawled off the ice. Why? Because he knew he had to get off the ice so someone else could get on to prevent the other team from scoring a goal. That is bleeping effort.
It's a different level of human, right?
Of course
those guys
it is.
take some pain.
Of course
I think it's the cold ice. They don't feel the pain because they're on the ice. They're already pre-iced. Maybe none of that. They have stories about guys having their testicle rupture.
Yes.
And they continue to play.
Although, you know who's not very tough is Steve Payne. Loyal listener, Steve. Okay, Steve, don't show up at Summit next Wednesday and kick my butt. I promise not to.
Let's speak about that, by the way.
Oh, Painter will show up.
Okay, let's do it.
And I said that so he'll confront me when we go to Summit next Wednesday.
So next Wednesday, the 17th, we sent an invite out from the Frat Pack 5000 group.
Yep.
I can only send it to 500 people, Rivers. Well, the Frat Pack 5000 is more than 500 people, FYI.
Okay,
right?
yes.
Facebook doesn't let me spam everybody. So I sent it out to everybody that I could. Everyone's invited in the Frat Pack. Everyone's invited. We have like 30 confirmed guys coming, guys and gals.
You're buying pizza.
I'm buying pizza. I don't know if I'm buying pizza. I'm buying some food. I was going to keep that a secret, but I'm buying some food. and maybe I'll figure out the whole thing. I'm winking into the YouTube crowd, right?
Right.
So we'll have a couple beers. We'll have some food. I'm going to bring some We Are Nuts, right?
Oh, fantastic.
Sample some of this stuff so people know what we're talking about. And I just want to get the Frat Pack together and just have a beer with buddies. That's all I want to do.
And I tell you this,
out.
it's been a while since I've been to the Rathskeller a bunch of times, but it's been a couple of years since I've been to the Rathskeller. That place is awesome.
Yeah, it's super nice. It's big. We'll have plenty of room. If you haven't gone on to the Frat Pack 5000 group yet on Facebook, just go ahead and send in a friend request or friend request Mike Fratelloni, and I'll invite you to the group. So if you want to come, it's next Wednesday. I'm gonna be there a little bit before 5 to whenever we go. Right?
Yep.
5 to whenever we go, and let's just hang out and have a beer. That's all I want. I just want to meet more people. Is that weird?
Not at all.
Okay, am I the only one feeling this?
No,
Sometimes
I can't wait.
sit at home, Reavers.
It's going to be fun.
I sit at home, and I have a nice house.
Okay.
And I sit at home, and I'm thinking, what am I doing here? I got to go do something. I got to go hang out with somebody.
And you're close to Summit.
And I'm close to Summit.
Yeah.
But I went there the other week, like last week, to go, and I had a beer by myself, Reavers. If you want to feel kind of sad, go have a beer at a big, beautiful Rathskeller by yourself and think, I'd like to have a friend. Come with me.
Somebody hang out here?
Just one guy. And there was a group of guys at a table. I thought, I might just go sit by their table. And then when someone says something I have any knowledge of, I can say, no, that was 2010 when the Metrodome ripped from that 17 inches. I could jump in with that, right? I just want to hang out with guys and girls.
It'll be fun.
And just have a fun time. Everyone's invited that's listening to this. If you're a frat packer, if you're a listener to the show, we're doing it. I don't know. It's going to be like 25 people, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people. Who knows?
Yeah.
Have no idea. It's not going to be 500. We know that. Yet I invited 5,000 or 2,800 or whatever.
Fantastic.
It's going to be fun. Reavers, I can't wait for that.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast. It's been a minute since we've hung out with listeners and fans and whatever. It'll be great. I can't wait.
I just want to hang out. I see these people because I'm getting to know them so well from the frat pack as just my buddies, and that's all I want them to do.
That's cool.
You know, one thing I did know is I was like looking at costs, and I thought, I wonder how much Santa pays to park his sleigh, Reavers.
Oh boy.
You know what it is?
How much does Santa pay to park his sleigh?
Nothing. It's on the house.
Oh boy.
You like that one?
You know what else we should do?
You didn't play the.
Hold on.
What else? Christmas themed jokes.
I know what I'm going to bring.
Yes.
We got a bunch of stuff from our buddy Ben at Masters Maples at mastersmaples.com.
Perfect.
I am going to, for the first 3 people, I'm going to bring 3 bottles of seasoning.
Okay.
The first 3 people that find me at Summit next week, I have a fresh, unwrapped bottle of seasoning from Masters Maples, and it's yours.
Oh, that's nice.
The only 3.
Yeah.
The first 3 people that come up to me, I'm going to give it to you.
The best part about this whole story is Reavers is going to give 3 of these.
Yep.
He got 10, but he's keeping the other 7 because his kids go through it.
That's all I have left. It's just the 3 that are left in the box.
The extra 3.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait, Reavers. I can't wait to tell more jokes. Oh, you have more.
No, I was just going to say, so if you're looking for that as well, it's a perfect time for the gift-giving season. Go to mastersmaples.com, whether it's the seasonings, which are absolutely world-class. I used it myself on the Thanksgiving turkey at the Reavers Thanksgiving Celebration Extravaganza, and I had no leftover turkey. Let me just put it that way. But it's also the pure maple sugar for the bakers in your life, and also the best 100% pure Minnesota maple syrup, and it's the absolute best. Our buddy Ben, he's the brains behind this, by the way. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful products, Minnesota made, Cohasset, Minnesota. You can get it at all of your Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores locations. And if you aren't able to make it to Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores, go online to mastersmaples.com and you can place your order there. They also do have a locator on where you can buy your products. But like I said, walk into Fratelloni's. They got all that stuff right there.
You know, I on the Frat Pack 5000, Ben, the owner of Masters Maple, lives in Cohasset, and he's like, I'll come down, but I don't know if I can make it on Wednesday. And I thought, and he's a cool guy because he's 6'11".
Yeah, he's the best.
I don't know. Something about a 6'11" guy is just that's a whole different breed of dude.
When
right?
Joe looked at him and go, you played basketball, didn't you?
Which must drive him nuts.
Right.
That must drive him nuts. But he wanted to come down because he's one of our buddies.
Yeah.
And he sells us fantastic maple syrup.
Right.
Yeah, I love it.
So go to mastersmaples.com and you can taste the difference. Michael, thank you, sir.
Reavers, you are the best.
Please do us a favor, rate and review the show wherever you happen to be listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. It helps other people find the show. It helps us out as well, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. And we'll see you next Wednesday at Summit at the Rathskeller. His name is Mike Fratelloni. My name is Chris Reavers. Thank you so very much for listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. We'll talk to you again next time. And until then, cheers.